In this season on the Big Talk YouTube channel, I am going to be showcasing the 9 speakers who performed at the Big Talk Academy's virtual showcase. These 9 speakers are so incredible and they all have very powerful, unique stories to tell. And I hope you will tune in for the entire season. Rosemond Sarpong Owens, Remembering We Are Kin should be an antidote for dismantling racism. Lessons I learned from being a grandma to ducklings. Rosie Sarpong Owens loves the Lord, loves life, loves people, and loves to laugh. She's a storyteller with an infectious enthusiasm about life. She's married with 3 daughters and a bonus son. She was born and bred in Ghana. She attended Wesley's Girls High School in Cape Coast, Ghana. She completed her undergraduate education in 1994 at the University of Ghana, Legon, where she graduated with honors. She later followed her heart and moved to Minnesota, her second home, where she completed a master's in public health at the University of Minnesota. Here, she had her 3 children and developed a Rainbow Coalition, an amazing tribe with people from all walks of life, and works day and night to fight for more just and equitable society, inequality, and to eliminate health inequalities. She is known variously as Rose, Rosa, Rosie, Posy, or simply Rosie, and some even call her Rosemount or Rosebud, but she doesn't care how she's called, and she believes a rose by any name is still sweet. Rosemond Sarpong Owens.
Racism is dead. Before you get excited about attending racism's funeral, there's a few things you and I must do. Racism is defined as prejudice or discrimination against someone based on their ethnicity, race, or national origin. For centuries, racism has been used as a justification for many of the ills in society. Genocide, apartheid, colonization, and the list goes on and on. This whole idea that somebody is superior and others are inferior has been the cause of many of the woes of the world we live in today. Today, with COVID-19 and the disproportionate burden of deaths on African Americans and other people of color in the United States, and with the murder of George Floyd and police brutality, systemic racism is back on the map. And everybody is talking about systemic racism, almost as if it didn't exist before. People don't know what to say. Some people are saying, oh, we didn't know all this were happening. And others are thinking that this is so big, we can't do anything about it. What about if I told you that we can dream of a more just and equitable world where the intrinsic worth of every human being is valued and appreciated? I am an optimist, and the reason for my optimism are some lessons I learned during this time of sheltering at home. When I became a grandmother to 3 ducklings, get them out of my house. I came home and right in the middle of my living room were 3 baby ducklings. One of my 13-year-old friends had gifted her those ducklings. Which 13-year-old gives their friend ducklings? Don't they know to go to the dollar store and just buy candy as gifts? Anyway, my daughter had the ducklings and she named them BB, Gigi, and Esmeralda. The issue is they had come to live in my home, just that I didn't get the memo in advance. Because the love for animals skipped one generation. My dad of blessed memory, Emmanuel, loved animals. And my daughters love animals, especially my little one. I, on the other hand, not so much. But here I was, the ducklings had come to stay, and I just joined the party. Fast forward today, I have become not only a cute grandmother to the ducklings, but also their chief advocate and their chief custodian. I wake up in the morning, I take care of them, I open their coop, I make sure they have water and that they have food. And I've learned some lessons from the ducklings. And I'm going to share some of these lessons and make some application to racism. So first of all, the ducklings realize they are kin, K-I-N. Kin is defined as being related or family. I don't know how these ducklings, if they came from the same mother, but once they got to our house, they realized that they were together. They must have come on different ships, but they realized they were in the same boat now. So they care so much for one another. Even when they were little, if you pick one up from their coop, the others will shriek as if it was the end of the world till you put it back. So they realized that they were kin, and they realized that they need to care for one another. Second thing I learned from the ducklings is that Bibi and Esmeralda are very fast, but Gigi is slow. So Bibi and Esmeralda have figured out how to escape from the coop. Gigi, not so much. So when Bibi and Esmeralda escape, they stay right by the coop. It's almost as if to say, Gigi, we don't know how to open gates, so we can't get you out. But we are going to stay right by you and quack, quack till Grandma Rosie comes to get you out. And true to their word, they just stay by Gigi and quack so loud that I burst out of my bedroom, and at times to my neighbor's chagrin or dismay, I don't even know what I'm wearing. I ran out and I opened the coop for Gigi to come out. When Gigi comes out, it's almost as if they said, oh, sister, you're here. And they do a little ducky dance and they go about their business. With time, I realized that I don't even wait for them to quack. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is run out of my room and open the coop to let all the ducks out. Now the application. Racism is so pervasive in our day to day. So with the murder of George Floyd and racism back on the radar, everybody is wondering, oh, what can we do? The effects are so massive, we can't do anything about it. What I learned from the ducklings is that we can. First off, we need a new lens. We need to have a new perspective on how we view one another. The ducklings realize that they are kin. If we realize that we are kin, irrespective of our race or background or national origin, we will not dehumanize one another. We will treat each other well and not dehumanize one another. Second thing, people are saying racism is so huge, we don't know what to do about it. You see that from the ducklings, they don't worry about what they cannot do. They put all their energies in what they can do. So what they can do is to quack at the top of their lungs till help comes. Can you imagine what we will do if we all will do our part, what we can, to speak against racism, to protest injustice when we see it? Do you know what would happen if we would do that? Each of us doing what we can. Doing things like voting with our feet. Not staying silent. Staying silent will just make us complacent. But for so long, we have stayed silent. George Floyd was murdered, but before George, there were others, but we were silent. So if we want today to be a movement and not a moment, these ducklings have taught us that there's some things we can do. After all, it was activist Angela Davis who said, I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. So since I live in the continental US, what are some of the things that we cannot accept? Things like microaggression, things like income inequalities, things like mass incarceration. These are all things we cannot accept, and the list goes on and on. No matter which part of the world you are, maybe you can think of your own list. But if we come together to say that because we are kin, the things that we cannot accept are the dehumanizing that leads to all of these inequities, inequalities, no matter what you call them. I think that that kind of world that we dream about will come to bear. So one of the things I added was that because I know that the ducklings will quack if I don't go to open them, I do that without anybody telling. So if we all do our part, we will be actually able to have a shift in society. So society cannot help but listen to our demands. And soon and very soon, we can all attend the funeral of racism. So that on July 16, 2045, in our own lifetime, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren will be able to live in a world where racism is dead. And that is one funeral that I cannot wait to attend. It was Dr. Martin Luther King who said that we either learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. As the Dutch have taught us, we can learn to live together as brothers. And if the Dutch can do it, we who even put men on the moon, we can as well, because we are human. Thank you.
If you are interested in speaking at the virtual showcase like these incredible speakers, go to thebigtalkacademy.com and get on the wait list. This 12-week certification program culminates in a virtual showcase for TEDx producers, conference organizers, podcasters, producers, and you will be featured on my YouTube channel. If you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button and notification bell so you get access to my most recent video. And I love when you make notes in the comments, and I will always respond. Big love.